Honourable members' prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in their sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, item number 5, correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. I have in my hand the vote and proceedings of Thursday, 31st July 2025. For correction, honourable members, the floor is open for corrections. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7. Yes, Honorable Available Leader.
Speaker, thank you so much. Speaker, given the fact that today is the last day, we are so happy. It's like our day. May I please make this observation and suggestion? The Tete family that has been recognized as in Philomena Tete, Daniel Tete, Samuel, Cyril, and Curtis, I suggest that we add the constituency they are coming from, so that at least we have a clue as to how to get them when the need arises. Then again, the kennel under, if we can assign his barracks or which of the units he belongs to, that will also be helpful for the official record. Then, Speaker, closely tied to that, on the next page is though you are not there yet, with your kind indulgence, is the project abroad, the group. If we could put it in a special quotation mark or any mark that highlights the name of the group itself. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, the vote and proceedings is supposed to capture the event that occurred. Regarding the item numbered 5, yesterday we never added the constituency that they were coming from. So adding the constituency would have been introducing something new. Wouldn't have been capturing what actually happened.
Speaker, properly understood, except to say that I was making a suggestion that next time, if the clerk at table could highlight.
Well, at this stage, we are supposed to correct vote and proceedings.
Thank you, Speaker.
So, and then the B that you are talking about, it is exactly the way it is captured. These are people not living in Ghana. We don't know their various constituencies. They announce their presence. They are coming from Brussels, Belgium, France, Germany, US, That's where they are coming from. So I think the vote and proceedings is correct.
Speaker,
Yes.
respectfully, this particular group has been to the House before, and it's been captured in our previous vote and proceeding. I mean, the name Project Abroad.
You have the evidence of that?
Yes, please. There is evidence. Speaker, there's evidence that the name Project Abroad has been put in a special quotation mark. The clerks at table can check. Speaker, thank you.
Well, let me hear you.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I think as much as what my colleague is saying might make sense, but it is alien to our rules. Alien to our rules in the sense that, because the 5 says recognition of visitors. These are not the only visitors who come to Parliament. And we've not captured in any form where visitors, including the students who normally come. So if you want to begin to itemize people and constituencies that they are coming from, it's going to be problematic. This is normally the form that the clerk at table does it. So to introduce what you are saying will be very alien to our rules, and I think that's the right way it should be captured. And for that matter, I think normally that's how it's been done. Rather than that, when you do for this, it means that any other visitor come, you will be compelled to do what you are suggesting.
Yes.
Speaker, my senior, I think that I have left out the A. That's 7A. That one, I took your guidance, Speaker. I introduced 7B, and if you may, permit me, kindly allow me to read. The Honorable First Deputy Speaker recognized in the public gallery members of Project Abroad. My emphasis is on the phrase Project Abroad. And I'm saying that it's a special group. And this group has been to this August House before, and that's the recognition of the group has been put, the name Project Abroad has been put in a special quotation mark.
You see, Honorable Member, for every acknowledgement that we make, this is the form that will indicate it. So whatever is contained in this form is what the vote and proceedings will capture. Like I'm having the same thing here, and it's the same thing that I am going to read. And after reading, I give it out. So this is not an issue that we should belabor.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, rightly so. You are right. Because when the visitors come, they give you a form, and that's what you use to do the recognition.
Yes.
So you cannot introduce anything that is not given to you.
So who am I to determine
and that is the form that is always
Project
being
Abroad
done.
should be in quotes, or it should not be in quotes?
So I don't think we should labor too much
Yes.
on this. Let's make...
Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Page 21. Page 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. And page 27. Honourable members, the vote and proceedings of the 42nd sitting, dated Thursday, 31st July 2025, is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, let's look at official report of Friday, 25th July 2025. Honourable members, it is for your correction. Honourable members, any correction? Members, yes.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have copies of that official report. I've checked on our table and I've checked on the console. There's nothing like that. We don't have copies of the 25th.
Very well. Is it on the console? It's not. Then on that note, we have to defer the consideration of this official report until it is placed on the console.
Oh, we have it. We have copies. 25th and then?
We are talking about Friday, 25th July.
Yes, it's here. And then?
It's on the console. It's even distributed
Yes.
in our pigeonholes.
Yes. It's here. 25th July, yes.
Yes. Then we can proceed to have it corrected.
The report is actually here, Mr. Speaker. Though it's right, it's not on the console, but I have a copy of the report, and I think many of my colleagues also have it. So I think we can go ahead with that. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, then it means that it's only the majority side that has it. On our side, we don't have that. I've checked through, and then this morning, normally even
It is still.
yeah, we don't
Or
have.
was it distributed yesterday?
Mr. Speaker, it is distributed one-sided.
So, Honorable Habib, can we go ahead and look at it? It is our own record. Deputy Whip, can we go ahead and look at it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we can, because the clerk is intimidating
Yes,
me
honorable
here.
members, it's for your correction. Any correction? Honorable members, in the absence of any correction, the official reports of Friday, 25th July 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honorable members, the next item is item number 6. Some statements have been handed over. Before moving to the statement, permit me to acknowledge our revered visitors. We have students from New Generation Preparatory School, from Esotifi South. They numbered 65. They are led by Amos Opon Boatin, the proprietor of the school. On behalf of Parliament of Ghana, I welcome you. May you have a fruitful visit. Thank you very much for coming. Honourable members, the first statement in my hand is standing in the name of Honorable Kweku Asante Boatin, Member of Parliament for Asante Akim South constituency, on the tragic road accident around Juaso on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. Honourable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make this statement in connection with the road accident that occurred on the Accra-Kumasi Highway, specifically within my constituency. Mr. Speaker, as the Member of Parliament for Asante Akim South, I stand with a heavy heart to address the tragic road accident that occurred
on July 28, 2025, along the Accra-Kumasi Highway near Jasu Junction. This devastating incident claimed the lives of 17 members of the Obogu Saviour Church, who were returning from a youth conference in Osiem. 4 others remain critically injured and are receiving treatment at the Jasu Government Hospital. Mr. Speaker, the scale of this tragedy is unimaginable, particularly for the families of the Obogu Saviour Church who bear an unbearable burden. The head pastor has lost 2 of his beloved children, while other parents in the congregation mourn the loss of 2 and even 3 of their own, all vibrant youth aged between 4 and 21, taken in an instant on that fateful stretch near Jasu Junction. On behalf of the good people of Asante Achim South, I extend my deepest condolences to the bereaved families, the Obogu Saviour Church, the Obogu community, and our entire constituency. This loss is devastating, and we mourn together as a community united in grief. The accident caused by a DAF SF fuel tanker with registration number GT 1674-17 was moving from Kumasi to Tema. On reaching the section where the accident occurred at the Jasu Water West, the driver decided to overtake some vehicles ahead using the middle lane without due consideration of vehicles from the opposite direction. In the process, the left tire burst and subsequently losing control of the steering wheel. This caused the driver to crash into an oncoming Ford Transit minibus with registration number GT 4674-22, which claimed the lives of these 16 passengers. This underscores a persistent and deadly problem on the Atredie-Jasu stretch of the highway. Mr. Speaker, the stretch of the highway between Atredie and Jasu Junction has over the years proven to be an accident hotspot, which has previously claimed a lot of lives, including including one aspirant who was the parliamentary candidate for Shai Osudoku. Right Honorable Speaker, according to recent statistics, apart from that, the Right Honorable Speaker or parliamentary convoy which was conveying some, which were leading some staff, also had an accident about a year ago. We also know of one Jerry Ajay of Kotoko fame who died through accident at the same spot about 6 years ago. Mr. Speaker, according to recent statistics, death through road accident in Ghana is on the ascendancy, rising from 1,237 in the first half of 2024 to 1,504 in the same period of 2025, representing a 21.6% increase. This trend is alarming and that has caused the need for a comprehensive approach to road safety. These are not just numbers, they are the heart and hope of families and their communities. We in this House hold the power to save lives and to prevent lives. I urge the government, the Ministry of Road and Highways, and the National Road Safety Authority to act swiftly. 1, to install speed bumps, widen the deadly stretch, deploy traffic cameras, and launch public education campaigns. I propose a task force to be formed within an allocated timelines to ensure these measures are implemented before more families suffer this fate. Right Honorable Speaker, our duty to the people of Asante Achim South and all Ghanaians at large is clear. How many more lives must we lose before we act? Let us honor the memory of these 16 souls by making our roads safe. This tragic loss has shattered Obogu, leaving scars that will endure for generations. We must channel this grief into action, ensuring no family endures such heartbreak tragedy again. As the representatives of the people of Asante Achim South, I pledge to work tirelessly with authorities to ensure our roads are safe for all users. The people of our constituency and all Ghanaians deserve to be protected and travel without fear. Right Honorable Speaker, let us honor the memories of those who have lost by preventing further tragedies. May their souls rest in perfect peace, and may their families find solace in the Almighty God. Let us all act now to preserve lives and prosperity so that more families will not endure this pain in the future. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, a similar statement is emanating from Honourable Member for Asante Achim North. The name is not stated. So you have the floor. Next time, include your name. After that, then we can take one contribution and move on to other statements.
Right Honorable Speaker. Okay, 1 second. Speaker, I'm sorry, I've just got in here and I wasn't sure that I will be given the opportunity to read a statement, but I've got it on my phone. I'll pull it up now. No.
Honourable Member, I'm sending you a copy of your statement.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Achampo.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, before the Honourable Member comes in, if you permit me, we want to the disorder then take motion 9. So we'll come back to the statement. The Minister want to step up, but he's here with us so that he can take motion 9 so that we'll continue with the statements.
Yes, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, motion number 9.
Please, it's actually 9 and 10, so if you allow me, finish 9. Madam Speaker, I move that.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
We don't have any difficulty, except that I want to give an indication that when the Minister moved the motion to rescind the decision, he must give us the reason why the House have to rescind that decision.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that motion number 9, page 3 of today's order paper, be rescinded. Madam Speaker, the reason for that is that in the report it was very clear stated that Goldfield's 1-year lease that comes to an end in April should not be extended or transferred.
Unfortunately, in the resolution, it was not captured. And we wanted to make sure that this earlier resolution is rescinded so that the new resolution will capture properly the report that was submitted to the House. I thank you.
Motion move. Any seconder?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I second the motion ably moved by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. And in doing so, if you permit me, I'll add a few comments. The lease that was ratified by Parliament is a product of a lease that expired. And government, the company applied, Goldfields applied to government for an extension of the lease. Government declined to extend the lease and asked that the company winds up. That therefore called for a negotiation between government and the company as to how the closure must be done. In that negotiation, there was understanding between the government of the Republic of Ghana and Goldfields, Aboso, that a 1-year period must be granted for the closure and cutbacks in order that they will not come back to ask for any further extension of the lease. So, Mr. Speaker, that was agreed, and as a consequence, a lease for a period of 12 months was granted Goldfields to be able to enable them close up completely. So in your committee's report, we provided that this lease cannot be further extended beyond the expiry period in April next year. We also said in our report, in your report, your committee's report, that the lease cannot be transferred, it cannot be mortgaged, and it cannot be used for any transaction whatsoever. And we felt that these important understandings that came up during the negotiation must be captured in the resolution. We noticed that the 24th July resolution lacked these important decisions, and therefore the reason for the rescission of the original resolution and the call for a new resolution that will capture all the things that we want to be captured in the resolution as a decision of this House. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having listened to the minister and then other briefings that I have gotten from my colleague, I think it is a right decision to rescind that decision the House took earlier on, because this will go a long way to help the state, and it will not give the Goldfield the opportunity to either extend or transfer it to a third party. So, Minister, for this one, I think you were properly advised, and it is a mistake from the House. So if we rectify it this way. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it's something that when we do, it will go a long way to help the state.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, I think it is clear it's an internal error which is being corrected. I intend to put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion numbered item 9 at page 3 of today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the decision of the House on Thursday, 24th of July 2025, in respect of the resolution for the ratification of the mining lease agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and Aboso Goldfields Limited, for the mining of gold at Damang in the Wassa West district of the Western region is accordingly rescinded. Now, item number 10. Honourable members, we are proceeding to capture the correct resolutions.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I moved that resolution number 10 on page 3 of today's order paper. And Honourable Speaker, for emphasis, I would like to read the whole resolution. Now, whereas by the provisions of Article 268(1) of the Constitution, any transaction, contract, or undertaking involving the grant of a right or concession by and on behalf of any person or body of person, howsoever described, for the exploitation of any mineral, water, or other natural resources of Ghana, made or entered into after the coming into force of the Constitution, is made subject to ratification by Parliament. 2. In pursuant of the said Article 268(1) of the Constitution, the Governor of Ghana has caused to be laid before Parliament through the Minister responsible for lands and natural resources a 1-year transitional mining lease agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana and Abosu Goldfields Limited for the mining of a gold addendum in the Wassa West District of the Western Region without the option, and I emphasize, without the option of further extension, transfer, mortgage, or any other transaction after April 2026. Now, therefore, this House, in accordance with the said Article 268(1) of the Constitution, hereby resolve to ratify the said 1-year transitional mining lease agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana and Abosu Goldfields Limited for the mining of gold at Daman in the Wassa West District of the Western Region, and I emphasize, without the option of a further extension, transfer, mortgage, or any other transaction after April 2026. Honourable Speaker, I beg to move.
Honourable members, the resolution number 10 has been moved. Any seconder?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. And in doing so, I wish to say that this resolution captures the decisions taken by your committee on lands and natural resources. And therefore, I second the motion and urge my colleagues to support this important motion, which will be of benefit to Ghana and to all of us. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, resolution number 10 is moved, seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House.
Mr. Speaker, I indicated earlier on that this is very good and in the right direction.
Yes.
That at the end of the day, if the right thing was not done and Parliament took a decision that will go against the states, and the minister and the committee were able to avert their minds back to the fact that the country, Ghana, need to benefit. And for that matter, we should not give a blind approval to the mining company so that they can be able to abuse the process. With this resolution, now we'll go to curtail and made it clear that the Goldfields cannot go beyond the 1 year. They cannot transfer it to a third party. And at the end of the day, it will come back to the state, and then the state will take a decision as to what we can now do for it. So I think it's something that is in the right direction, and for that matter, it's something that I support. And Mr. Speaker, so we can go ahead for us to approve the resolution.
Honourable members, I'll put a question. As many as are in favor of resolution number 10 at page 3 of today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The resolution number 10 on today's order paper is hereby adopted, and accordingly, this House approves a 1-year transitional mining lease agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana represented by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Aboso Goldfields Limited, for the mining of gold at Damai on 52.39 kilometers square in the Wasa West district of the Western region without the option of a further extension, transfer, mortgage, or any other transaction after April 2026. Okay, so then let's do. Honourable members, let's turn to other paper addendum. Honourable members, at commencement of public business, let's come to other paper addendum. Yes, Deputy Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister is not with us. I crave your indulgence to allow the Road Minister to lay the paper on behalf of the Finance Minister. And Honorable Habib, you know, today we are rising, and as I keep on advising, long talk and long stay in this chamber is not good for our health. Today, we've decided to close early, so let's make things smooth so that we can leave this place very early.
Very well, yes, Deputy.
Mr. Speaker, we have a difficulty in laying this paper. Mr. Speaker, the other paper addendum, apart from me just having one copy, none of my colleagues are having a copy. And it is not on our console too. So, Mr. Speaker, let's continue with the statement. When they do the writing, distribute it, then we can lay it. I'm the only person having a copy. It's not on our console. We
Honourable member. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, with all due respect, if you look at the single one that you have, it's talking about agreement on privileges and immunities of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. These are issues of health concern. So, Honorable Deputy Whip, I may want to touch the soft part of your heart to allow this to go.
Mr. Speaker, we haven't engaged a lot on this issue. And Mr. Speaker, let's do the right thing, then we can lay this report. So, Mr. Speaker, like I said, my members don't have copies of the addendum. My members still don't have a copy of the addendum. So, Mr. Speaker, let's continue with the statement. When they make copies available, then we can lay it. I am not saying we should not, but I'm saying that let's do the right thing. It is not on the console. Members are not having enough copies. Let's do the statement while they upload it and also give us copy. Then we can come back and do the laying. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Achampo, my colleague, he need to do the needful. He need to properly engage. He's not engaging. So let's do the statement, and then after the copies are given, then we'll come back and lay it, Mr. Speaker. We all want to go home early today. Mr. Speaker, I'll continue to plead with my colleague. You know, initially I walked to him, I discussed the matter with the leader himself, and he was there. So I will engage. Let's lay the paper so that the two of us will engage, so that I will invite you to attend the committee meeting so that you get a proper briefing at the committee meeting. You'll be well apprised. So let's lay the paper and continue with the statement. I'm just pleading with you. Today is Friday. I know you go to the mosque. Mr. Speaker, I'm very happy that at least the former deputy minority leader, who is now the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, and the former chief whip, minority whip, who is now the minister for roads and highways. This is not new to the House. This is not new to the House. So I'm saying, I'm not against it, but you know why the former chief whip said, if other things are laid here, there will be chaos. This one, I don't want to use those words. Those were his words. So, Mr. Speaker, let's just upload it. Now I can see it on the console. Let's get copies and we'll come back and lay it. It's not new. So, Mr. Speaker, there are certain issues we cannot say on the floor about this, but we will engage with the leader when they do statement. Then we'll come and lay it, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Whip, let me understand you. If the issue before us is not new in the House, what then is the point? If the issue is not new in the House, what then is the point? Honorable members, yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Minority Chief Whip wants to hear me plead. I hereby plead. I've added my hands.
Mr. Speaker, since the majority leader pleaded, it's an indication that his numbers have deserted him. So we can go ahead and lay it.
Very well. Yes, Minister for Roads and Highways.
Agreement on privileges and immunities of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, 2011.
Honourable members, the paper has been duly presented and it is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report. Yes, honourable member, you have the floor. It's a joint statement, so we take one comment.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 93 of the Standing Orders of this Honourable House, with indeed a burdened heart, to make a statement on behalf of the good people of Asante Achim North, following the tragic but avoidable road accident which occurred on Monday, the 28th of July, 2025, at around 14 hours on the Achibia stretch of the Accra-Kumasi Highway. Mr. Speaker, 16 young lives were lost. I had the privilege to visit Hawa Hospital at Osiem yesterday around in the mid-morning to visit 4 of the surviving members of Savior Church. I visited them, I saw them myself. They are doing quite well. The doctors there are doing very well. The nurses are doing their best.
Are you reading your statement or you are making contribution?
I'm adding a bit to it because it's...
You cannot do that.
All right. Very well, Mr. Speaker. Very well, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these passengers, some of whom were my constituents, were returning to Obogu in the Asante Achim South municipality after attending their church's annual conference. Mr. Speaker, I would say that Ghana does not suffer from lack of laws. We have the legislative instrument 2180, the Road Traffic Act, the Fatigue Management Regulations, the licensing protocols. Our challenge is the yawning chasm between legislation and enforcement, between policy and actual protection. According to the National Road Safety Authority, over 1,500 lives have been lost on our roads between January and June alone this year. What should disturb this House, Mr. Speaker, is not just the sheer numbers, but the deafening silence and inaction that often follow such tragedies. Mr. Speaker, the cost of deferring reform is fatal. When road infrastructure is inadequate, it is the bones of ordinary Ghanaians that fracture under the weight of our collective inertia. Mr. Speaker, even the reckless deserve systems robust enough to protect them. There must be no institutional or infrastructural gap wide enough for a fuel tanker to drift into an oncoming vehicle loaded with passengers. Mr. Speaker, let it be clear that I do not rise to suspend the business of this honorable House. I rise because this is the business of the House. What more sacred responsibility do we bear than the protection of life and dignity? Mr. Speaker, when we permit persistent inaction and normalize fatal neglect, we do not merely fail the bereaved, we fail the very purpose of governance. Every life lost on that highway is a resource stolen from the wealth of our republic. If this House fails to act with urgency, then we are by omission complicit. Mr. Speaker, I wish to remind this honorable House that in the 2025 budget statement of the Ministry of Roads and Highways, an amount of 1.4 million has been allocated under the bridge line 0824157 for the section repairs of the Accra-Kumasi Highway. It is imperative that this allocation is not only disbursed, but utilized swiftly and effectively to address critical and dangerous portions of this key national corridor, particularly the Atwedia stretch, which has now claimed far too many lives. Mr. Speaker, I therefore call the Ministry of Roads and Highways to prioritize and expedite these repair works and all relevant agencies to provide regular updates on their progress. I also urge the National Road Safety Authority and the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority to intensify public education, enforce traffic regulations without compromise, and engage with transport unions to ensure safe practices. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the people of Asante Achim North, I extend our deepest condolences to the families plunged into mourning. May their pain stir us towards policy, infrastructure, and institutional reforms that will honor the lives of the lost by protecting those yet to travel on our routes. May this tragedy not pass just another headline, but as a call to national action. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity given. Thank you.
Yes, honourable member, you have the floor. Honourable members, we are taking just one contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to express my deepest condolence to the lives or the family of the 17 young men and women, 16 young men and women who lost their lives on the Atwedia Road. Mr. Speaker, I share boundaries with Honorable Asante Boatim, and sometimes if these things do not really affect you, you really will not appreciate the extent to which it damages society. Yesterday morning, I had an engagement with my MCE. I called him, and he said that most of the persons involved were his church members. So he was going for the burial service. Mr. Speaker, this is sad, and I'm happy today that the road minister is here. I am a survivor of 2 near-fatal accidents on the Accra-Kumasi Road. In fact, ever since I had my last accident, I do not recall, or I don't remember, sleeping in my car heading to my constituency. I have a duty to always travel from Accra to the constituency, even in the evenings. And what do we see, Mr. Speaker? There are no lights. There are no roadside signages. In fact, there has not been an instance where you use the Accra-Kumasi road and see policemen or DVLA officers checking for roadworthiness of vehicles on that stretch. And let's not politicize this. It happened. There's no politics involved. Mr. Speaker, we ought to save lives. And I'm happy that the Ministry of Energy announced that they were going to do mass solar lighting and all of that. I'm urging the Minister for Energy and the Minister for Roads that the Accra-Kumasi road leading to Tamale is so critical a road, and almost every day there's an incident being reported on that stretch. We want street lights on that road. We want street lights to save lives on that stretch. And Mr. Speaker, we need to also look at how we dualize the road, especially from the Prasu enclave heading towards Kumasi. The level of speeding amidst the curves on that stretch is alarming. It's something that we ought to do something about it. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm urging this House and urging the Minister and then also urging the President that as part of the big push agenda, they should consider dualizing that part of the road. It's too dangerous a road to always use. I use the road virtually every weekend when I'm in the constituency trying to visit some of my areas. And you ply that road, you come back, and you have to say a prayer to thank God for saving your life. So I know, this is not just a statement that should be brushed under the carpet. This is a statement that should awaken this very House and ensure that we insist on the Minister for Energy and the Minister for Road doing something on that stretch. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I want to express my deepest condolence to the families of these 16 young men and also to the members of Parliament from these areas, Asante Achim South and Asante Achim North. We pray that their souls, their gentle souls, find a lasting peace in the bosom of our God. Amen.
Yes, Honorable Chumesi Ampofo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have to commend MP for Asante Achim South and North, both of them, for this commendable statement. It's very worrisome, Mr. Speaker. A lot of accident happens due to our own mistakes or the drivers. Mr. Speaker, my condolences to the entire family of those involved in this accident. May their soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, I saw the pictures, and it's very, very worrisome. Mr. Speaker, this accident mostly due to poor road that we have in the country. And I believe Honorable Minister is here for Roads and Highways. He's going to do his best to improve our road network. That will save the situation. Mr. Speaker, this accident also mostly due to unauthorized ramps that are on the road that could not be identified. Also bring a lot of accidents on the road. A key, when moving in the night, you can't see any marking, especially during the rainy season. It's very challenging. Also due to poor lighting system on our roads or no lights on the road. Mr. Speaker, a lot of drivers also do wrong overtakings, overspeeding, unnecessary speeding, overtaking where there's curves, where there's hills. They can't see their face properly, they are still overtaking. Mr. Speaker, some cars also don't have reflectors at the back of the cars, and police have to check them. Because, Mr. Speaker, on the road, on the high road, on the highway, you might be moving at a speed, a certain speed. Suddenly, a car might be broken in the middle. And if care not taken, Mr. Speaker, you definitely hit the car and you might lose your life. Mr. Speaker, poor or wrong signals of some of the drivers when they are driving. Some driver can signal left whilst he's going right. Mr. Speaker, if you don't take care, you definitely hit the person or there will be accident. Also, drinking, driving. Some drivers will be drinking and driving. It's a dangerous thing. Police must check them. And also, sleeping, driving. That's most dangerous than even those drinking. When you are sleepy and you are driving, it's better to park aside and have a rest. Sleep for some time before you continue. Mr. Speaker, lack of car maintenance, some poor brakes that are not be fixing, some cars that their lights are not good. Some cars, their light itself is not good. They can't see well, and they don't want to fix them. So, Mr. Speaker, all these things need to be taken care. Mr. Speaker, some drivers have poor sight.
Kindly conclude.
Mr. Speaker, in concluding, some drivers themselves have poor sight. Their sight are not good. They have to check their sight properly. They can't see well. It all causes accident. Some cars, their tires, is very serious that they have to fix it. Mr. Speaker, in concluding, I have an experience for a certain car which the tire wasn't good, but the owner wants the driver to take the people to some convention. And the driver said, unless the owner changes the tire, he's not moving the car.
Honourable Member, I think your time is up.
In concluding,
I will proceed to give the floor.
Owner get another car. They went and had accident, and most of them, they died. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
I'll proceed to give the floor to Honourable Fifi Bokman, Member of Parliament for Kosiminting, statement on the tribute of the late Ambassador Sampiale. Honourable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to make this statement eulogizing a patriot of our land who would finally join his ancestors tomorrow, the 2nd of August, 2025. Mr. Speaker, Ambassador Sampiale, popularly known as Uncle Sam or Sampi, was the mighty brain behind the founding of the NDC Professionals Forum, Pro Forum. Ambassador Yale was more than a founding member. He was the heartbeat of a bold and transformative idea that professionals within the NDC must arise and lend their voice and expertise to shape the national discourse. With unshakable conviction and remarkable leadership, he built a movement that transformed the narrative. He made a political party, NDC, honorable, even enviable, to publicly affirm support from the party. Mr. Speaker, like various philosophers and political thinkers, such as Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, Dr. Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, the late Ambassador Sampi Yale, with his mobilization acumen, added to our democracy an actionable and achievable political strategy worthy of emulation in building our democracy. Mr. Speaker, the late Ambassador Sam Yale was a beacon of brilliance, humility, and empathy. He was calm in adversity and gifted in resolving conflicts with wisdom, a natural consensus builder. He empowered others and led clarity, always pursuing unity in the pursuit of shared goals. Mr. Speaker, a chunk of his life was dedicated to service to Ghana as the executive officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, acting as a chief executive officer till 2014. He was an astute lawyer in good standing till his demise. He was a customary family head and believed in the customs and traditions of his people and was rooted with his people in the central and hinterland. Mr. Speaker, Ambassador Sam Yale was not just a leader. He was the embodiment of the values we need to uphold: unity, service, courage, and purpose. He was later appointed as Ghana's ambassador to India, and that his tenure in New Delhi marked a significant period in Ghana-India relationship. His advocacy and lobbying ability inured to the benefit of Ghana from India, increased investment interest in Ghana, and expanded educational and cultural exchanges. He was a great advocate for female leadership and gender equity, and through that, he nurtured many ladies who currently occupy high public offices and perform creditably. His calm demeanor, incisive commentary, and great sense of fairness in both political, economic, and legal discourse earned him great respect and love across political divides. He was loved by both young and old and treated all men with utmost respect and inspired greatness wherever the opportunity availed. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, may I humbly quote a verse in Methodist hymn book 896. It says, "Now praise ye great and famous men, the fathers named in story, and praise the Lord who now as then revealed in man his glory. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace." Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honourable members, before taking the contribution, I don't know whether we should combine this with a statement on Ali Jara. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think we should just take the statement and then we can do the contribution, because our leaders are ready for us to finish wrap up for today. And you indicated that it is your pleasure for us to finish early. So
yes.
If we can take the statement and then we just take the contribution.
Yes, so there is also another statement standing in the name of Jerry Ahmed Shaib. Honourable member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, Ali Jara is alive and kicking, save that I'm excited the Minister of Sports is here for him to perhaps consider my statement in its entirety. Speaker, I rise today to bring to the attention of this august House a matter of grave concern and national shame: the systematic neglect and abandonment of one of Ghana's greatest football legends, Ali Jara, whose sacrifice for our beloved nation has been met with decades of indifference from the very institutions that should have been its strongest pillars of support. Right Honourable Speaker, Ali Jara is not just any ordinary Ghanaian. He is a national treasure whose name should be etched in gold in the annals of Ghana sporting history. This remarkable goalkeeper was the backbone of Ghana's golden generation that brought unprecedented glory to our nation in the early 1990s. As a member of the 1991 Black Starlets, Jara was instrumental in Ghana's historic victory at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Italy, where his exceptional goalkeeping skills helped secure Ghana's first ever FIFA World Cup triumph at any level. Right Honourable Speaker, Jara's excellence extended beyond the 1991 triumph. He was a key figure in Ghana's impressive run to the silver medal at the 1993 FIFA Under-20 World Cup Championship in Japan and contributed to Ghana's silver medal at the Africa Under-17 Championship in Mauritius in 1993. At the club level, Jara distinguished himself as the first choice goalkeeper for Accra Hasselhoff, where his performance in the 1992-1993 season, earned him all 3 major awards that season. The trajectory of the sporting icon's career was pointing towards international stardom, with reported interest from prestigious clubs, including my own team, Liverpool FC and FC Cologne, and of the German Bundesliga. Right Honorable Speaker, however, fate had other plans. And in 1993, during a highly charged super clash between Accra Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, Ukuma Pema Pembeba, Ali Jara sustained a career-ending injury that would fundamentally alter the course of his life forever. The injury that befell Ali Jara in 1993 was not merely a sporting mishap. It was a life-altering catastrophe that left him paralyzed and stripped him of his livelihood while he was serving Ghana in the line of duty. Right Honorable Speaker, for 17 long years, this national hero has borne the physical, emotional, and financial burden of that fateful day, with his hope gradually fading as he faces continued neglect and indifference from the state. The treatment of Ali Jara by Ghana sporting institutions represents one of the most shameful chapters in our nation's sporting history. The Ministry of Sports and Recreation has turned a blind eye, and I'm not talking about this particular Ministry of Sports and Recreation, for over 3 decades, failing woefully in its duty of care towards one of the nation's most celebrated athletes. Similarly, the Ghana Football Association has shown a disturbing lack of gratitude and responsibility, despite Ali Jara's emotional appeals for recognition and justice. The government's inaction in this matter is equally deplorable. While we celebrate our sporting achievements and bask in the glory brought by our athletes on international stages. While we celebrate, Right Honorable Speaker, we have failed to establish comprehensive support systems for those who suffer life-altering consequences while representing Ghana. Despite the overwhelming challenges and the institutional abandonment, Ali Jara has demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination to rebuild his life. Rather than succumb to despair, he has channeled his energy into chalk production, establishing a small business that serves as his primary source of livelihood. This entrepreneurial venture represents not only his personal struggle for economic survival, but also his unwavering spirit and refusal to be defeated by circumstances beyond his control. The Ministry of Education presents a unique opportunity to provide support to Ali Jara while simultaneously addressing practical needs within our educational system. Given that Jara has established himself a commodity essential as chalk to our educational infrastructure, there exists a perfect synergy between supporting this sporting legend and meeting genuine educational requirements. I call upon the Ministry of Education to engage with Ali Jara on his chalk production enterprise and provide the necessary financial and logistical assistance to expand its operations. This partnership could include bulk purchasing agreements, equipment provision, technical training, and market linkage to support that would transform Ali Jara's small-scale operation into a thriving enterprise capable of serving educational institutions across the country. The government must establish a comprehensive support system for former athletes who have suffered career-ending injuries while representing Ghana. This should include medical care, financial assistance, entrepreneurial support, and recognition programs. Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and the Minister, as you are here, Minister, I call your attention on this matter. The Ghana Football Association must also acknowledge its moral obligation to Ali Jara and take immediate steps to provide him with recognition, financial support, and medical assistance that he deserves. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, Ali Jara's story is the last of its kind in Ghana's sports industry. Let us honor our past heroes with protecting our future ones. Let us demonstrate that Ghana truly values those who sacrifice everything for the honor and glory of our beloved nation. The measure of a nation's character is reflected not only in how it celebrates its heroes during the moments of triumph, but also in how it cares for them during the times of need. Our sporting heroes who lose their source of livelihood while carrying Ghana's flag deserve our unwavering support, not our neglect. They deserve recognition, not abandonment. They deserve dignity, not despair. The time for action is now. Mr. Speaker, whilst I conclude finally, as President of Ghana Weightlifting Federation, we are also scheduled to host the African Youth and Junior Championship that is supposed to come off.
Is that part of your statement?
Speaker, I'm only asking your permission just to sum up. Speaker,
well, the rules are clear.
Speaker,
you are supposed to read the statement that has been admitted for
Speaker, I respectfully end my statement by saying that let's pay attention to our heroes, not to neglect them. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Yes, Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports.
Thank you very much, Speaker, for the opportunity to make comments on two statements that have been made by our colleagues. The first one, Speaker, to do with Ambassador Sampi Yale. Ambassador Sampi Yale was one person I closely worked with, because many are aware that my politics, the genesis of my politics is from the central region. And so I worked so closely with Ambassador Sampi Yale in many projects in the central region. I continued and became a national officer of the party, and he equally was in the national level. And so we continued to work together. Our very recent and last project we did was organizing the party's National Congress. We were members of the committee, and I chaired that committee, and we worked together. Ambassador at all times will call and will drive to my office in Parliament here just for us to have a conversation and discussions, because he wanted us to deliver one of the best congresses ever. Like the statement indicated, he is the founder, or was the founder, of the Professional Forum. And this became established, Speaker, when I was the then national organizer. Many didn't understand what that was intended for, but I knew the benefits it will bring, not just to the NDC, but to our politics. Because we need the professionals, we need their involvement in the politics of our country. And truly so, the NDC have benefited, and the political space have benefited from the creation of such a group in our party. The family have lost a great person, the NDC have lost a great person, the country have lost a great person, and I would say, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Speaker, commenting on the Deputy Minority Whip's statement on Ali Jarrah, it's true that our sports persons and sports icons must be celebrated. But this have not been done over the years. I remember very well how the former goalkeeper of the Black Queens was virtually thrown out and not being cared and not being attended to. It took His Excellency John Dramani Mahama then to intervene about 3 years ago in getting her accommodation. We should not allow our heroes and heroines to go through such situation. Ali Jarrah have not been abandoned, though, by the state. He's not been abandoned, though, by the state. But if there are other things that he needs and some other things that can be done for him, I believe that there are ways that we can carry this through. Currently, His Excellency the President, through Cabinet, has given approval for establishment of a sports fund. And this fund would also go a long way to support athletes and athletes development, and also the former athletes when they do retire. We are working very hard, Mr. Speaker, to even get the involvement of SNIT in some of these projects and insurance companies. One insurance company, Speaker, have submitted a proposal to me as pathway of solving some of these emergency challenges that will occur in the course of their businesses. Mr. Speaker, support to leagues so that clubs can also support football and footballers especially. Just yesterday, we launched an arrangement that GFA and APL have come into. Government is mobilizing resources from private and public corporates to make sure we fund this project for telecasting of games and also running of the games. So there will be much more money available to take care of these players, to reduce some of the stress that they go through. Mr. Speaker, I dare say that our ministry is sensitive, is aware and awoken to its responsibilities. And that was why arrears of coaches that have been left unpaid from 2020 till I took over as a minister have been cleared. And as we speak, we do not owe any former coach. Coaches that were sacked, coaches that were dismissed and were not paid. Mr. Speaker, we have made sure we've cleared all this. And we will continue on that. We will look into the Ali Jarrah issues and see what it is that we can do first as a ministry and government. And I invite also the corporate. In many parts of the world where you see athletes' welfare and being taken very good care of, private corporates have been involved. We are not seeing much happening in Ghana. And I think that this is a challenge to all of us as MPs. When we go to our constituencies, let's speak. When we engage the corporates, let's remind them, let's know that they have a way to contribute to better the lot of our athletes. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I want to assure you that I've taken note of the statement. I will pick it up and engage Ali Jarrah and see what we can do to help him. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, I will give the floor to Honorable Kobna Mensah.
Thank you very much. Special greetings to those two statements. Mr. Speaker, I would like to start with Honorable Sampi Ali. As a child, we had known Sampi Ali as an assemblyman in Dansuman, around Block Destinate Flats. And he was so popular that when he even transitioned into the NDC politics, people were like, hey, we didn't know that this is a guy. But Mr. Speaker, as a Westerner and Sampi Ali being an Ahanta, is one of the few politicians in our area whose politics was very solid and quiet. I quite remember, and I still remember his humility in dealing with issues. Mr. Speaker, I have known him very well because of the relationship we've had with some of his nieces and nephews, the Odro family of Takrady, because we are very close to their grandmother, Mrs. Akoto. But one thing about Sampi Ali is that as an ambassador, he was able to reach out to a lot of Ghanaians in that community in India. And I quite remember my own operational director, Justice Akwa. I'd worked with him in India during those days when he was an ambassador, Ghana High Commissioner to India. Mr. Speaker, if you also take his politics, his family politics in the Ahanta area, I'd worked with Honorable Sampi Ali when I was the regional minister on the 50th anniversary of Bedu Bonsu, the Ahanta Hene. Even though the program didn't come up, you could see his humility, his sense of urgency, and his sense of connectedness to his people, to making sure that everything that we're doing in the Western region, he was always in us. On politics, he was not always the angry type. He was always looking for solutions to the common problems of this country. And for that reason, I believe that is one person that we need to comment. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Ali Jarrah, when we were children, I think Ali Jarrah was more of our hero till he got he got sick. And if you look at the issues that are coming up in supporting our artists, I believe that is something that we need to set up and work at it and make sure that the systems work. It is not just setting up funds. Most of the times we set up the funds and they just don't work. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the minister had brought up a key issue about the private sector supporting these funds and supporting artists. Mr. Speaker, one of the critical problems we have in this country is that the business community want to support, but government also have to support the business community to be doing well. And then our ability as a country to create more businesses or the enabling environment for us to have more businesses so that the more and the little each of them pay, when we accumulate them, becomes huge for us to be able to do the work that we have to do. These are some of the issues that I believe that we need to look at. Because if the money is not generated in the first place, the business community cannot support in areas that government can do well so much. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, I'll give the floor to Honorable Collins Auda.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will begin by commending the Member of Parliament for Kwasimintim constituency for putting this statement together, eulogizing one of us, that is Ambassador Sampi Yali. Mr. Speaker, Sampi Yali, as I affectionately called him, was a man full of humor. He was down to earth, a unifier, and importantly, a very strong organizer. Mr. Speaker, I met Sampi Yali first at the Consultative Assembly when Ghana took the decision to transit from the military regime to a civilian regime and took up democracy as the way to govern this country. The then government put together a consultative assembly and tasked the assembly to come up with a draft constitution. That was when I met Sampi Yali as a young person. Then was very humorous and worked hard at the Consultative Assembly, which put together the 1992 Constitution. And I thought that the statement should have captured that important part he played for Ghana. Sampi Yali, as I've indicated, played several roles in the formation of the NDC party as a young man. And he continued to support NDC and played various roles in the NDC until his demise. And it is my wish that Allah accepts his soul in heaven. May Ambassador Sampi Yali rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, with regards to Ali Jara, the situation that has been described to us by the Deputy Minority Whip it's not different from the situation of other people who have served this country. While I support the position taken by while I support the position, Mr. Speaker, by accident, I referred to him as a witch. It was by accident. And I humbly withdraw. I was
Very well, very
I
well.
tried to say deputy minority whip. So
Very
you are not
well.
a witch.
He has corrected himself. Yes, he's withdrawn. Yes, he is withdrawn.
Are you a witch? Are you a witch?
Mr. Speaker, I fully support the position taken by the honorable member that Ghana must take care of people who have served this country as sportsmen and as politicians. If you look at the sports space, you can talk about so many people who lack so many things, even though they have played key roles in the sporting arena. In the same vein, if you look at us, the politicians, we also face the same situation. We have former ministers who look very miserable, and the same with former MPs. It is as if they have never served this country before. And I thought that a scheme should be put in place to take care of people who have served this country and served this country very well. Otherwise, it may not be useful to serve this country. And therefore, I am of the view that as a country, we need to have a scheme to identify such people and support them when they age, in order that it will serve as a motivation for others to also work hard and put their lives down for this country. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Members, the indication is that we take one statement each. Very well, very well, very well. Then I'll proceed to give the floor to Honourable Minority Leader for his concluding remark.
Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, let me begin my closing remarks for this second meeting of the first session of this ninth Parliament with a quote from K. Kujo, who wrote on the role of minority in our democracy. Mr. Speaker, this is what this writer had to say about democracy. Quote, "The true measure of democracy isn't the muzzle of the majority, it's the backbone of the minority. When power grows too comfortable, even a minority of one must rise. Their role is not to decorate debate, but to disrupt decay. They are not seat fillers. They are the guardrail of the republic. Every bold promise must be tested. Every flashy decision must answer to the people. Ghana is done with hollow rhetoric. The new citizen is alert, informed, and allergic to excuses. The minority may be few, but their mandate is undiminished. Ghana still expects them to deliver." End quote. Mr. Speaker, with this, the minority in this House feels inspired to continue its work and to deliver on this mandate of the people. Mr. Speaker, and we do so with a deep spirit of responsibility,
reflecting on the significant development that have taken place both within the walls of this Parliament and in the broader governance space of our Republic. Parliamentary business is often complex, but critical to the sustenance of our democracy, and this meeting undoubtedly has been marked by various events that have tested the strength of our democratic resolve. Mr. Speaker, in delivering these remarks, permit me to pay a solemn tribute to our dear colleague and patriot, the late Honorable N.S. Yakumi, Member of Parliament for Akwetia, who sadly passed away on 7 July 2025. His untimely departure is not only a personal loss to those of us who knew and worked with him, but a national tragedy that has robbed this House of a vibrant, promising legislator. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, in course of this session, the minority acted with a deep sense of responsibility and urgency. We've carried the burdens of our people, raised their concerns on this floor, kept alive the flickering flame of democratic accountability. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution enjoins Parliament not merely to legislate, but to scrutinize, to question, and to ensure accountability in the use of public resources. Over the course of this meeting, the minority has been steadfast in holding the executive to account. We demonstrated with clarity that power is not a license for impunity. The clarity that Parliament must not be reduced to a rubber stamp. And the clarity that where the majority falters, it is the minority that must stand firm and speak the truth, regardless of the costs. We in the minority have not shirked that responsibility. In this meeting, we filed several urgent questions to ministers to demand answers on pressing issues affecting the daily lives of Ghanaians. Answers about the cost of living, answers about the state of our hospitals, about the collapse of local industries, about the pain of ordinary Ghanaian citizens whose dreams have been battered by a government that is increasingly distancing itself from the private sector. Again, Mr. Speaker, in this chamber today, we have a newly elected Member of Parliament for Ablekuma North. But we all know the event that led to this eventual election. The minority hereby reiterates its stand against the Electoral Commission for the sudden U-turn that robbed Honorable Akwe-Friye of her deserving victory. That said, we also say that the event that eventually brought our respected colleague into this chamber must not be glossed over. The violence and the misconduct that made that rerun in Ablekuma North sadly bears the stain of electoral violence, and that stain cannot be ignored. The intimidation, aggression, and brazen violation of the laws that we witness have no place in our democracy. To the newly sworn-in MP, we say this: your first test is before you. Demand justice. Call for accountability. Work to ensure that no political affiliation shields anyone from prosecution. Send a clear, unambiguous message that Ablekuma North will not be a haven for political violence. Defend the democracy that brought you here by demonstrating zero tolerance for political violence. Mr. Speaker, the minority also stood firm in resisting the legislative overreach of the majority. For the records, permit me to reiterate the sentiment I expressed in my opening remarks prior to the vetting of the first batch of the last batch of the deputy ministerial nominees. Quote, in every functioning democracy, fairness in parliamentary practice is not a matter of convenience. It is a constitutional imperative. The legitimacy of representation rests not on the brute force of the numbers, but on the integrity of the processes through which those numbers are interpreted and applied. It is not majoritarian muscle that gives Parliament its soul, but the enduring principles of balance, precedence, and the inclusion of minority voices in decision-making. Parliamentary politics, then, is not merely a numbers game. Yes, numbers matter, but principles matter more. At its core, Parliament is a moral contract, a shared understanding that power must be exercised with restraint, and that electoral victory, no matter how decisive, must never become a license for institutional overreach or unchecked dominance. End quote. Mr. Speaker, the majority caucus in this 9th Parliament has time and again wielded its numerical strength not as a mandate to shape and enrich debate, but we've often seen this as being used as a weapon to impose its will on the House. A clear example in their sudden increasing reliance on certificate of urgency for every bill to railroad legislation, sidestepping due diligence and undermining parliamentary scrutiny, and eroding the oversight role that is so essential to our democracy. We have witnessed on multiple occasions the majority bulldozing its way through decision-making processes with scant regard for consensus or constructive engagement. But democracy is not about majoritarian tyranny. It is about balance, inclusion, and accountability. The dangerous precedents being set by the majority, where power is exercised without restraint, must not be encouraged. We would encourage our colleagues to bear with us, even as we put forward our argument to scrutinize. They must not see it as frustrating them, but they should see it as our bit in enriching parliamentary democracy. Mr. Speaker, government has time and again been compelled to reverse unlawful or ill-conceived actions after the minority raised the alarm. The so-called Doomsday levy, we welcome the suspension, but surprisingly, government used a backdoor to implement it to further burden the people of Ghana. We reiterate that we support any attempt at ensuring reforms at ECG. We do not agree to the imposition of levies and taxes. Within this 6 months alone, government has increased the levies, increased levies, and imposed burden on Ghanaians when it comes to electricity consumption. And we know that the people deserve better. We support reforms and would urge government to come forward with reforms rather than imposing taxes. Mr. Speaker, it is very troubling that within this short period, a lot of businessmen are facing crisis because they are being targeted in one way or the other. The minority wonders why. Foreign businesses are doing well, but Ghanaian businesses have become targets of certain state institutions. Mr. Speaker, the recent attack on the warehouse of Magdan is something that we should all condemn. It is not proper for a country to see the unleashing of state security on the private business of a Ghanaian, whereas there is no single foreign business in our country suffering from such attacks from state institutions. This must end. We should encourage our own and support our own. We should build our Ghanaian industry and not subject them to partisan affiliations. It will not help our country. To our friend Magdan, I say to you, you are one example of a Ghanaian businessman who has done so much, created jobs, yet going through this. We pray that the good Lord himself will comfort you in this difficult moment, as well as all those businesses that have become subject to attacks because some people feel they are affiliated to one political party or the other. Mr. Speaker, on Galamsey, this government This government has become a tragedy before our very eyes. There's a complete breakdown of the fight against illegal mining. Galamsey is now worse. This government has completely failed in its fight against Galamsey. Our rivers are polluted. Our forests are vanishing. Our children are drinking poison water. Yet those who promised to end Galamsey, as soon as they are voted into office, have become the chief enablers. On May Day, the Trade Unions Congress, TUC, publicly condemned the NDC government's weak, half-hearted approach to tackling illegal mining. And what did they get in return? Verbal abuse, baseless accusations of partisanship, and vile attacks from the NDC's communicators. They were not alone. The University Teachers Association, UTAG, also added its voice to the national outcry. UTAG has issued a stark ultimatum. If President Mahama fails to honor the anti-Galamsey pledge he voluntarily signed before the 2024 election, they will embark on a strike action. The Catholic Bishops' Conference has also boldly added its voice on this matter. Government must take action. And if indeed government is determined, this house, this side of the house, the minority, is ready to support this government to deal with the issue of Galamsey. The consequence of this government's Mr. Speaker, the consequences of this government's negligence are not abstract. Doctors are now sounding the alarm over a spike in gallbladder-related diseases in communities affected by Galamsey. This is not just an environmental crisis. It is a growing public health emergency. And what is the government doing about it? Nothing meaningful. We urge the president to unmask and prosecute all those profiting from this destruction. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn my attention to the gold board issue. Mr. Speaker, civil society organizations have sounded the alarm that a significant portion of the gold being procured by Gold Board is reportedly sourced directly from illegal Galamsey operations. Gold Board was to purchase gold and generate foreign exchange in support of the city. Its mandate is fundamentally commercial, but it also bears a critical ethical responsibility to ensure that the gold it procures comes from legitimate and responsible sources. The gold it purchases comes from legitimate and responsible sources. And herein lies the crisis. We have tasked a commercial entity with a mandate that directly conflicts with our national environmental priorities. How do we ensure that Gold Board's drive to shore up the city does not come at the expense of our lands, rivers, and future? The conflict of interest is glaring. Economic gain versus environmental integrity. So long as we create incentives for gold sourced from illegal mining, we are not fighting Galamsey. We are funding it, and government must take note of this. This House must demand accountability and transparency from Gold Board and insist on mechanisms to verify responsible sourcing. Anything less would rather increase the situation and worsen it. Mr. Speaker, let me now deal with the issue of the unrest in Boko. Mr. Speaker, we witnessed an alarming surge in insecurity, including spillover of Boko conflict that tragically claimed the lives of students in Nalerugu and Boko. Mr. Speaker, fortunately for us, the leader of the House is the MP from Boko, for Boko. I call on this House, let us avoid making this a partisan matter. Let us pray for peace in Boko. Let us reach out and encourage all stakeholders that have been given the mandate to mediate, to do their work. Let us guide our utterances and ensure that there is peace in that part of our country. Mr. Speaker, when peace is attained in Boko, it would have positive spiral effects on other areas in the country. conflict in other countries starts in such manner, and with time, it just gets out of hand. We must not allow Boku to get out of hand. And I want to assure my respected colleague, the majority leader, that I will always remember him in my prayers. I can just relate to it. If it were my constituency, how would I even go there and all? As well as other constituencies in the Kusau area. I pray for peace for them, and I say that your colleagues in this house are here supporting you in prayers, and we believe that with concerted effort, our country would experience peace, and your people would also experience peace for development to take place there. Mr. Speaker, let me deal with the issue of attack on our journalists, the media. Mr. Speaker, recently, the GJA president had cause to express concern about what is happening to journalists. The assault of not fewer than 12 journalists have become of grave concern to the Ghana Journalists Association. Mr. Speaker, the executive must speak out and end this. Now let me also turn to the state institutions that are involved in investigations. Mr. Speaker, this side of the House, the minority, is never against accountability. I repeat, the minority in this House is never against accountability. But we want to say to the state agencies, execute your mandate with a human face. We are seeing situations where, Mr. Speaker, bail is being used as punishment. Iyoko, for instance, is
Honorable minority, please address the chair.
Mr. Speaker, today we see Iyoko granting bail with onerous conditions. Suspects are being demanded to provide title documents, valued title documents, and it is done such that the person will remain days in custody. Mr. Speaker, we have to watch some of these. As a country, if we don't find space to end bitterness and revenge, it will continue. Today, it is NDC in office. NDC will not be in power forever. If something happened yesterday, it is time for us to end it. Because, Mr. Speaker, tomorrow, for those who are occupying positions, they should remember that if they don't control and check some of these things, it may be difficult for the moderates in the opposition party to control those hawks when that time comes. It is time to end the bitterness, the revenge, and the pain. We are a country of one people. If the hawks will continue to dictate to governance, so be it, but we'll live to see. Mr. Speaker, I cannot gloss over what is happening to our judiciary. Our Chief Justice is being hounded. The ongoing situation involving the suspended Chief Justice raises serious concerns. The process lacks transparency and is being cloaked in so much secrecy. The public is left in the dark, and the questions are mounting about the selective justice, political witch hunt, and the shielding of party loyalists. The judiciary must never be reduced to a battlefield for political score settling. The Attorney General's recent conduct raises serious concerns about politicization of justice. We are witnessing a troubling pattern of selective prosecution where political opponents are swiftly targeted while allies of the government are shielded from accountability. This blatant double standard undermines public confidence in the justice system and threatens the rule of law at its core. Today, there's a new word in town, 60-40. Mr. Speaker, before I bring my remarks to a close, let me touch on a matter that occurred in this House on the 22nd of July. Mr. Speaker, on the 21st of July, I attended the Northern Development Conference. I left home at dawn to honor the invitation of the Majority Leader. I returned very fatigued, but I still had to come to the House. I was taken ill the early hours of 22nd of July. And whilst on my hospital bed watching the TV, I witnessed an event in this very floor which left me very sad. Mr. Speaker, I found it very strange that after the selection committee had taken a decision to table a motion regarding composition of delegation to Pan-Africa and ECOWAS, two events took place on this House floor. One, on Pan-Africa. Mr. Speaker, after both leaders had discussed at length on the issue of Pan-Africa, I found it strange that a motion was moved that gave the MPP minority 1 seat with an observer status. Mr. Speaker, the formula we agreed in this House floor was to give us 2 seats. So what was given to us was not a favor. Our rights were denied us. And I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker, this must never happen. We demand that the majority must revisit this matter and ensure that the right thing is done. This is a house of precedents. Mr. Speaker, on the ECOWAS situation, the situation was worse. The leader of the House rose and moved a motion to vary the delegation, ostensibly taking my name out. Mr. Speaker, I found this very strange. I am a member of the ECOWAS Parliament, duly sworn in with a fixed mandate of 4 years. I am also a deputy speaker of ECOWAS Parliament. Mr. Speaker, internally, our side had done our own internal arrangement, and although leaders normally go to IPU and CPA, my deputy and I had discussed, and she was taking the slot for IPU and CPA. It would also interest you to know, Mr. Speaker, that as a leader, I am not on any committee in this parliament, apart from our statutory committees. So for an impression to be created that the deputy minority leader is being cheated and that the majority leader was coming to her rescue was rather very rich. Mr. Speaker, we must not allow such situations to happen. It takes away the very trust that exists between us as leaders. And I pray that this must never happen again. However, I am happy to announce that the deputy minority leader, upon becoming aware of this situation, swiftly reacted to it, and Mr. Speaker has also swiftly responded to the memo from the deputy minority leader, all aimed at resolving this matter. And I'm happy with the content of Mr. Speaker's response, which response gives me great relief that indeed there is still an opportunity for us to judge all and to resolve situations in this House. Mr. Speaker, let me thank parliamentary service staff, led by the clerk to Parliament, for their support. What would life be without you? We thank you for your industry. Mr. Speaker, to the Marshal and his able team, I say to them, thank you for supporting us as a parliament. Mr. Speaker, not the least, let me also thank the media. They have often stayed with us at long hours and carried our views to the people. Mr. Speaker, now back to this House. You, the first Deputy Speaker, and the second Deputy Speaker, in many situations, you were the ones presiding. Mr. Speaker, we also thank you. There were times that the minority disagreed with you, but I believe that in the spirit of democracy, we've managed to move on. And let me also thank colleagues in leadership, the majority leadership and the minority leadership. Let me thank you for supporting the cause of democracy in this House. As we go on our vacation, let me remind colleagues that family first. Family first. If all of you will be healthy, would have the right mental health to do your work as members of parliament, you must keep the home at peace. Let's find time for our family, our kids, our spouses, our partners. Let's find time for extended family, and let's check our health. Mr. Speaker, we too often get busy with our work and forget about our health. Let's not be afraid to go for checkups. Let's spend time to relax, but also be mindful of the mandate of the people who have given us this opportunity. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, before calling on the majority leader to give his closing remark, before calling on the majority leader, let me make this announcement. Preparation for the second edition of the Democracy Cup 2025. Honourable members, following the successful launch of the second edition of the Democracy Cup, I wish to bring to your attention some important updates regarding the schedule of activities to mark the event. The main event, which will feature a thrilling derby between city arch rivals Accra House of Folk and the Great Olympics, will take place on Friday, August 29, 2025 at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. As part of the day's activities, we are excited to announce a curtain raiser match between Parliament and Judiciary. Negotiations for this match are far advanced, and we are hopeful of a fruitful collaboration with the judiciary, with the involvement of the acting Chief Justice. Parliament's team will be captained by the Honorable Mahama Ayariga. The judiciary is yet to select their captain, but we are confident in our ability to compete when they bring their team. Honourable members who are interested in participating in the curtain raiser match and who believe they have the requisite soccer prowess are kindly requested to contact their respective whips to be included in the team. We intend to begin training in earnest during the upcoming recess. Honourable members, although the Democracy Cup will be played during the recess, you are reminded to mark the event in your calendars accordingly. Your participation and support are essential to the success of this event. Thank you. There is an appeal for the women to play at least 10 minutes. So that is granted. So Honorable Majority Leader, you then have the floor. Ten minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I am most grateful for this opportunity to make this brief remark as this Honorable House draws down the curtains on this second meeting of the first session of the night Parliament. This meeting, which commenced on Tuesday, 27th May 2025, comes to a close today, Friday, 1st August 2025, to allow honorable members to take a break from the arduous plenary work. I describe it as arduous because during this meeting, the House held 43 sittings within a 10-week period. Some sittings were held on Saturdays, and most sittings even traveled very late in the night. As we are departing, a number of committees will still be working, and most importantly, the Public Accounts Committee will be very active and busy during the recess period. Committees also use this period to engage in site visits, monitoring and evaluation, stakeholder engagements, among others. As honorable members of this House, we understand that the recess period is never a break from parliamentary duties as it may appear to the public. Recess provides us the opportunity to visit and interact with our constituents in order to listen to their concerns and views on issues of governance and nation buildings, share meaningful insights, and receive the needed feedback from them. This period also provides us with ample time to spend with our families and loved ones, something we barely get to do due to the demands of the job. Over the past few months, we have had the opportunity to engage in fierce and rigorous debates, considered a number of bills, some under certificate of urgency, reviewed government policies, presented statements, and posed questions, mostly urgent, on matters of national importance. The committees have also been very busy and active during this meeting. Among the bills presented include the Energy Sector Levies Amendment Bill, which was passed, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025, which was withdrawn, and then the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025, which was subsequently passed, the Public Holidays and Commemorative Days Amendment Bill, which has been passed, the Social Protection Bill, which was withdrawn, and then a new Social Protection Bill 2025, which has been passed, the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill, which has been referred to the Finance Committee, the University for Development Studies Bill 2025, which has been passed, the Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill, which is still at the consideration stage, the Ghana Medical Trust Bill, which passed, the famous Mahama Cares program has been passed, the Energy Sector Levies Amendment Bill number 2, which has been passed, the Road Maintenance Trust Fund Bill, which has been passed, the Securities and Intelligence Agencies Bill, which has been referred to the Committee on Security and Intelligence. The various instruments were also presented. the Environmental Protection Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Certificate Regulations 2025, the Environmental Assessment Regulation 2025, Environmental Protection Management of Ozone Depleting Substances, Hydrocarbon Alternatives and Their Products Regulation 2025, the Environmental Protection Effluent Regulation 2025, Environmental Protection Air Quality Management Regulations 2025, Environmental Protection Petroleum Regulations 2025, Immigration Service Amendment Regulations 2025, Public-Private Partnership Regulation 2025, Fees and Charges Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Regulation 2025, Revenue Administration Regulations 2025, Judicial Service Terms and Conditions of Service Regulations 2025. Mr. Speaker, as you can see, a lot of work has been done focusing on dealing with our numerous environmental challenges. Mr. Speaker, the Appointments Committee, in discharging its mandate, vetted and submitted its report to the plenary for the approval of 4 deputy ministers to different portfolios in government. The nominations by the President that were approved by the House were Honorable Dorcas MP for Jomoro as Deputy Minister for Transport, Honorable James Jajikwesin MP for Asin North as Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sukwaru MP for Sisala West as Deputy Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, and Honorable Professor Grace Ayensu Dankwa MP Sikado Ketan, Deputy Minister for Health. It must be emphasized that these nominations were unanimously approved by the House by consensus. We therefore wish them the best in their deputy ministerial roles as they work to support the President to deliver on his mandate to the people. Mr. Speaker, the House was privileged to host the Honorable Finance Minister, the indefatigable Dr. Atuba Forson, and former minority and majority leader of this August House to deliver the well-received mid-year budget review for 2025 on behalf of the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The mid-year review clearly outlined government's efforts to stabilize the economy, restructure external debt, and renew key sectors like banking and infrastructure with focal attention on fiscal discipline, efficiency, and accountability. Inflation, which was hovering around 23.8% as of December 2024, has been brought down drastically to the 13.7%, an unprecedented economic achievement. The stabilization of the cedi, which was trading around 16 USD, has appreciated to around 16 Ghana cedis to the USD, has appreciated to around 11 Ghana cedis to the USD, which is 42.6% gain, easing import costs. The country's foreign reserves had swelled to 11.1 billion USD, that is 4.8 months import cover, up from the 3 months baseline. GDP has also surged by 5.3%, that exceeded the 4.4% full year projection. These are signs of a promising future and a better Ghana to come under the distinguished leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress. The mid-year budget review 2025 has been debated upon by this House at length, so I will give no further comment. Mr. Speaker, but something monumental happened in this House. Mr. Speaker, this House had the privilege, unprecedented, to host the Indian Prime Minister, His Excellency Prime Minister Modi, who came before us and addressed this Parliament and outlined Indian foreign policy in relation to Africa. I must say that subsequent to his address, I have met several Indians in country and abroad, and they all indicate that the whole world of India watched and saw what happened in this House. And of course, they were excited to see that members of this House are very excited about Indian culture and wearing Indian dresses and Indian fashion. And they were very, very impressed with their Prime Minister's speech in this House. Indeed, it gave this House, indeed, a global visibility. And I think that we will in future encourage such visits by visiting foreign heads of state. Mr. Speaker, our female national team, the Black Queens, made us all proud when they won bronze medal from their participation in the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations, WAFCON, in Morocco. The team surprised Ghanaians by their outstanding performance, and even though I have congratulated them earlier, I will still use this opportunity to urge them not to rest on their laurels and continue to shine forth in their future games. We assure them of the full support of Parliament and work in their interest to ensure they continue to make the nation proud. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, I represented this House at the Moving Peak Hotel at the launch of a fund for the support of the National League. And I assured them that parliamentarians in their various regions will participate in the fundraising effort to raise about $11 million to support the development of soccer in this country. Mr. Speaker, I will use this opportunity to urge all of you, as we go around engaging in the fundraising effort, to participate and assist us identify potential funding sources for the development of soccer and football in the country. That said, Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to inform the House that the Northern Caucus has been launched with the aim of unifying all members of Parliament from the 5 northern regions to put their arsenals together in championing development in the northern part of our country. The maiden Northern Development Conference, a gathering that brought political leaders, traditional authorities, civil society organizations, and development partners together, has been held in Tamale following the launch of the caucus here in Parliament to draw a roadmap for the sustainable and inclusive development of the northern regions. Mr. Speaker, on a rather solemn note, death unfortunately befell this House through the sudden demise of Honorable Ernest Kumi, who represented the good people of Equatia in the early hours of 7 July 2025. This was a young man of 40 years with so much potential and promising future. His dedication and passion for parliamentary duties, even as first-time MP, was unrivaled, and there is no doubt that his untimely death is a great loss to this House. The nation again woke up to the news of the passing away of the Ghanaian legendary musician and high life icon, Mr. Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Daddy Lumba, which sadly occurred on 26 July 2025. These deaths are poignant reminders of the fleeting nature of the life we live here on earth. I will take this opportunity to wish their gentle souls peaceful rest and beseech their families and loved ones to find consolation in the Lord, because only He is our comforter. May their souls and the souls of the faithfully departed continue to rest in the bosom of our Maker. Mr. Speaker, absenteeism and lateness to the chamber by some members continue to be a plaguing issue affecting the smooth conduct of business by this August House. We must be cognizant of the fact that we are assigned a responsibility to ensure that the country's parliamentary democracy is held to high standards by becoming a benchmark on the continent. I therefore urge colleagues, as we go, let's actually take a good rest. Let's make sure we clear our private programs, and when Parliament is resuming, to dedicate the period for parliamentary business and not have to try to pair and then in the process miss out on attendance to this chamber. Mr. Speaker, the minority leader in his closing remarks raised a number of issues, and I think that it is only fair for me to provide some basic responses. Mr. Speaker, he raised the issue of Galamsey. I must admit that as a country, we must be united in the fight against Galamsey. It is a problem that has plagued our society, and in the last 4 years, Galamsey was a major problem. Our rivers were largely polluted. There was digging everywhere, and I was even shocked a few weeks ago when I was driving from Kumasi to Accra and saw that in some communities there was digging even right behind a police station building. Right behind a police station building, people were digging looking for gold. Mr. Speaker, this government, upon assumption of office, has put in place a number of measures aimed at decisively dealing with the problem of Galamsey and the pollution of our river bodies. Quite recently, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources commissioned 1,000 blue water guards. Those 1,000 blue water guards are already working and turning our water bodies, which had become brown, to blue. And I think that in due course, the various polluted rivers will be cleaned and we'll begin to see blue water, flowing in our rivers and not the brown, milky water that was flowing in them in 2024. We are also overhauling the licensing regime. Just last week, 907 licenses were announced, and people were being asked to come and rectify all their licenses so that we will have them on record, documented, the owners, the sites, so we can deploy, the requisite expertise to monitor activities at those 907 small-scale mining sites. Mr. Speaker, there is a well-coordinated fight against illegal mining led by the National Anti-Illegal Mining Team, that is NAIMOs, and they are fighting illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, Cabinet has approved a well-refined cooperative mining program to deal with the problem of illegal mining. And indeed, Cabinet has also voted significant amounts of money for alternative livelihoods. You will recall that yesterday in our closing debate on the mid-year budget, we recounted the various increments in social interventions, all meant to complement efforts that we are putting in place, driving people out of illegal mining sites, and you have to give them alternative livelihoods and support them. Mr. Speaker, there is an effective coordination in the importation of excavators. I want to report to this House that under the NPP, between 2023 to 2024, NPP arrested only 845 illegal miners, 2023-2024, and prosecuted only 35 persons. Within 6 months, the NDC government has arrested 1,345 people, and most of them are being processed for court. Mr. Speaker, we have seized 425 excavators. 425 excavators have been seized, and those 425 excavators are still held by the government of Ghana, and none of them is missing. Mr. Speaker, at the port, we are monitoring the importation of excavators, and over 1,000 excavators are being held at the port. Over 1,000 excavators are being held at the port. And there's a coordinated work between the Minerals Commission, DVLA, and Customs. And now, when you import an excavator, you will have to justify the reason for the importation. You'll have to show that you have a government contract that requires that you use an excavator, or you have to show that you have a mining concession or lease that requires the use of the excavator. And we will also install trackers on the excavators, and then also the movement of the excavators will be geo-fenced. So when you move the excavators, where the excavators are operating will be monitored by the Minerals Commission, the DVLA, and Customs. And because many of them cannot justify the importation of the excavators, we have over 1,000 excavators held up at the port. So the fight against illegal mining and galamsey is continuing, unabated and relentlessly by this government. The minority leader mentioned attack on businessmen. Mr. Speaker, there is no attack on businessmen in this country. The persons that he mentioned are people that I personally know. And so when businessmen and state agencies have issues and they are being addressed using appropriate legal mechanisms, let not politicize them. Mr. Speaker, he talked about electricity tariffs. Indeed, when you say in one vein that we need to rationalize our energy sector, and yet you criticize any effort to engage in cost recovery when it comes to the production and sale of electricity, then it becomes very contradictory. Mr. Speaker, he also talked about investigative agencies using bail as a tool for punishing people who are being prosecuted. What I can say, Mr. Speaker, is that this House should not be used to intimidate investigative agencies. The YOCO was established by law, and YOCO was established by a law enacted by this Parliament or previous parliaments so that they can carry out a specific mandate. Indeed, the Office of Special Prosecutor was established by the new Patriotic Party government, and the law was enacted. The Special Prosecutor was appointed by the government of the new Patriotic Party when they were in office to exercise mandate that this Parliament gave them. And I think that in all the legislation that we have established, we have clearly spelled out that citizens have rights, and when those rights are being violated, they have access to our courts to go and vindicate their rights. I think that it is the height of hypocrisy for us to enact such fine laws, establish those institutions, and when they are exercising their responsibilities and their mandates, for us to sit in this House and criticize them and try to undermine them in the exercise of their legitimate duties. So, Speaker, those who feel aggrieved by those institutions know where to go to. They know the road to where the court buildings are, and they can afford lawyers to vindicate their rights. The minority leader also spoke about the Pan-African Parliament and the ECOWAS Parliament delegations that were constituted by this House. Right, Honorable Speaker, what I can say about that simply is that this House has appropriately passed resolutions, taking decisions on the composition of our delegations to the Pan-African Parliament and the ECOWAS Parliament, and I believe that any revocation of the decision of Parliament has to be based on another resolution of this House changing that decision. Otherwise, the decision remains the decision of Parliament. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, an important event occurred, and I was hoping to make a statement on that, but due to the constraints of time, I never got to make a statement on that. I'm sure many of you have read social studies and history, either senior high school or, those days secondary school, O-level or A-level at sixth form, or even in the university. And we all remember the famous bond of 1844, which was the bond that really began colonialism in the then Gold Coast, which is now Ghana. I'm happy to announce that last week, the National Archives of the United Kingdom brought to this Parliament a copy of the original bond of 1844. And we now have that, we now have a copy in our archives for viewing. Yes, the original copy, a copy of the original copy was brought here and given to the Speaker to be kept in our national archives. So all those who want to see the original copy of the bond of 1844 can walk to our national, can walk to the parliamentary archive, and they will see a copy of the original bond. I urge the students who visit us anytime they come to pass through our archives and view the copy of the bond of 1844. Mr. Speaker, as we proceed on recess, I will urge honorable colleagues to prioritize their health and general well-being. In spite of our busy and tight schedules, we must find time to rest and spend quality time with our families. While the work we do is important, taking care of ourselves and spending time with family is equally important. Our parliament, since its inception in 1993, has been inundated by so many preventable deaths, and it is time we prioritize our general health and well-being even as we serve the people. I will conclude by expressing my appreciation to the Right Honourable Speaker, his able deputies, honourable colleagues in the leadership, and the entire House for making us have a successful meeting. To the Clerk to Parliament and his hard-working staff, I say a big thank you for being there to provide the needed procedural advice and technical support to service us to be able to carry out our mandate here. You are the silent heroes, and I truly appreciate you and your work, Clerk and your team. To the Parliamentary Press Corps, I say thank you for choosing to be our partners on this journey. I would also like to thank the security personnel in Parliament have stepped up their game, and these days, because we sometimes close very late, you see them loitering around, guarding our vehicles, watching over our cars, and then our offices, and making sure that generally we are safe even as we stay here till very late. I say thank you all, and may God bless us. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. And then also, during this sitting, we began the live broadcast of parliamentary proceedings on our channel on GBC. So let me, GTV, let me thank the GTV team, the Director General and his team for providing us with that facility. Even though we made some investment, they generously gave us a channel, and now parliamentary proceedings are broadcast live, and I think that a lot more people are following proceedings of Parliament. I want to urge colleagues, during recess, we need to populate the channel with content. So once in a while, the Parliamentary Broadcast Department will be inviting you, even during recess, for media engagement so that we can have content to populate our TV channel. In addition, all committees that will be sitting during the recess should also inform the broadcasting team of Parliament so that they can cover the proceedings of the various committees, not just the public accounts, every other committee. And I know that many committees have referrals, and during the recess, they will be meeting over their referrals. Please communicate to the broadcasting team of Parliament so that they can cover those ones, and they can use those material as content in order that our channel will not be boring and without footages during the recess. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I thank you all. God bless this Parliament. God bless Ghana. And may you all get home safely and return to the next meeting of Parliament in good health. I thank you very much.
Honourable members, closing remarks by Right Honourable Alban Sumana, Kingsford, Bagme, Speaker of Parliament. At the end of the second meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament of the Republic, Honourable members, today marks the end of the second meeting of the first section of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. We are grateful to God for keeping us alive and shepherding us throughout this period. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to all honourable members for your dedication, patriotism, and unwavering commitment to the business of the House. Over the course of the meeting held between May and August, Parliament convened a total of 43 sittings. During this time, the House diligently exercised its legislative, oversight, and representative functions, transacting significant businesses and deliberating on matters of national interest. Among the key highlights of this meeting are the following. Major constitutional business. On Thursday, 24th July 2025, the Honourable Minister responsible for Finance presented the mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy for the 2025 financial year. It outlined 5-point strategy aimed at curbing inflation and stabilizing the economy through prudent fiscal management, targeted agriculture investment, improved monitoring coordination, and enhanced utility pricing mechanism. Nominations by the President. The House successfully vetted and approved the nominations of 7 justices of the Supreme Court and 4 deputy ministers of state, fulfilling our constitutional mandate under Article 144 of the 1992 Constitution. I commend the Appointment Committee for its professionalism and the House for its vigilance. Questions and ministerial accountability. In all, 497 questions were admitted and processed. Out of these, 297 were asked and answered. They comprise of 242 oral questions and 55 urgent questions. This reflects our deep commitment to ensuring accountability, transparency, and responsiveness from the executives. Bills. During the course of the meeting, 13 bills were presented, out of which 8 were passed, 1 at consideration stage, 2 at committee level, and 2 rescinded. This includes the following. 1, the Energy Sector Levies Amendment Bill 2025 passed. 2, Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025 withdrawn on the 8th of July 2025. 3, Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2025 passed. 4. Public Holidays and Commemorative Days Amendment Bill 2025 passed. 5. Social Protection Bill 2025 withdrawn on 28 July 2025. 6. Social Protection Bill 2025 passed. 7. Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Bill 2025 referred to Finance Committee. 8. University for Development Studies Bill 2025 passed. 9. Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill 2025 at consideration stage. 10. Ghana Medical Trust Fund Bill 2025 passed. 11. Energy Sector Levies Amendment Number 2 Bill 2025 passed. 12. Road Maintenance Trust Fund Bill 2025 passed. 13. Security and Intelligence Bill 2025 referred to Committee on Security and Intelligence. Instruments presented. 11 instruments were presented to the House during the meeting, of which 6 came into force. However, 2 instruments, namely the Environmental Protection, Mining in Forest Reserves, Amendment Regulations 2025, and the Corporate Insolvency and Restructuring Regulations 2025, which were presented during the first meeting, came into force in this meeting. Statements and business statements. During the meeting, 73 statements by members and ministers on various issues were taken. A number of them were referred to relevant committees for consideration and report. In addition, the House also adopted 10 business statements to guide its weekly activities. Resolutions. The House, in accordance with Article 75, 181, and 268 of the 1992 Constitution, where applicable, considered and approved by resolution the following. 1. Membership of Pan-African Parliament. 2. Membership of ECOWAS Parliament. 3. 7 treaties, protocols, and conventions. 4. 2 financial agreements. 5. 5 mining leases. And 6. 131 timber utilization contracts. Approval and disbursement formula. The House considered and approved the 2025 National Health Insurance Fund formula. Other businesses. The following categories of businesses were presented to the House and accordingly referred to the appropriate committee for consideration and reports. 16 budget performance reports. 11 Auditor General's reports. 5 mining leases agreements. 5 annual reports. 212 audit committees reports, and 131 timber utilization contracts. Challenging moments. Despite these achievements, blended with the historic visit to the House by the Prime Minister of India, which affirmed the deepening diplomatic and parliamentary cooperation between the two nations, our parliament unfortunately witnessed some moment of pain and sorrow. Painful loss of a member. We were profoundly saddened by the untimely passing of our colleague, Honorable Ernest Yaokumi, the Member of Parliament for Ekwetia, who passed away on 7th July 2025 at the youthful age of 40. His demise, attributed to heart failure, is a painful reminder of the demanding nature of our calling. As a House, we must begin earnest discussion on comprehensive healthcare support program tailored to the unique pressure of our parliamentary work. Electoral integrity. We also took note of the recent electoral dispute in Abrekuma North during the rerun of the parliamentary election. The incident involving the former Member of Parliament, Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumson, must renew our collective commitment to legal reforms, institutional accountability, and the promotion of peaceful democratic processes. This House unequivocally condemns all forms of political violence and reaffirm its dedication to safeguarding electoral integrity. Tribute and acknowledgements. Permit me, however, to acknowledge your efforts, commitment, and contributions to making this second meeting generally successful. I extend heartfelt gratitude to the first and second deputy speakers for their dedication and hard work and competence in presiding over proceedings in my absence. To the leadership of the House, on both sides, I commend your effort, even as I remind you that Parliament is not a courtroom, but a political institution built on deliberations, negotiations, and consensus building. To the clerk, to Parliament, deputy clerk, and the entire staff of the parliamentary service, your procedural rigor and technical expertise remain unseen pillar that uphold our daily work. To our media partners, especially members of the Parliamentary Press Corps, your diligent reportage and commitment to public information enhance democratic transparency and civic engagement. This House acknowledges your vital role and pledges continuous support. As we rise today, let us remember that recess is not a vacation. It is a return to the people we represent. I urge all honorable members to use this period to reconnect with constituents, undertake field oversight, and deepen parliamentary democracy. Let us embrace our responsibilities with renewed purpose and conviction. This meeting has demonstrated what is possible when we work together, transcending partisan interests to serve the greater good. Let us carry forward the spirit of consensus building, national unity, and public service that has defined this section. May we return reinvigorated, ready to confront new challenges and seize new opportunities for the benefit of all Ghanaians. May God bless you all. May God bless our parliament, and may God bless the Republic of Ghana. Honourable members, with these few words, I hereby proceed to adjourn the House sine die. Thank you very much.